Welcome to Beyond the Caseload, Mission, Laughs, and Life at PPT, where we talk honestly about life in pediatric therapy, the chaos, the laughs, the growth, and the moments that make it all worth it. Your hosts are Regina, a speech-language pathologist and rehab director of West Palm Beach, and Tara, HR director, bringing you real conversations from Beyond the Caseload.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Caseload, where we go beyond the caseload and talk about things that really matter to our staff, therapists, new grads, and people who potentially want to get into this business. My name's Tara, I'm the Human Resources Director. Today I'm joined by Alex, who is an SLP in our Boca clinic, and this episode is called Gen Z, and we are talking about the new generation of therapists and how, as practices and private practices, we have evolved and have to still evolve for this ever-changing lifestyle and work ethic of our new Gen Z therapists. So welcome, Alex.
Hi, everybody.
Alex joined us about 4 months ago, and she started in our West Palm Beach location. And as her needs evolved, we slowly transitioned her to our Boca clinic because she moved further south. So that's something that we had to evolve as a practice to do, because normally our policy, which was more rigid prior to, was within your first 90 days, we don't make any changes. But we know now that life happens, things happen, and in order to evolve with the times, we created a new schedule for her and moved her to our Boca location. So how has that transition been for you, Alex?
So honestly, I think from the very beginning, it has been great. You guys have been super helpful in being accommodating for my needs, not making it more stressful, being in that time of moving and worrying about if I'm able to transition when I can. I did start out at the West Palm, and then the traveling has just been a lot, being that I moved further south. So over the course of maybe a month or two, just being able to transition to the Boca Clinic and start there and make my way over there has been really helpful. And I think being that PPT does have locations kind of throughout Florida, and that South Florida is really helpful too, because not every clinic or company has that flexibility to be able to give their employees. So I'm really grateful to have that in the company I work for.
Awesome. Thank you for those kudos. We appreciate that because we really are trying to evolve. As a Gen Z therapist, tell me, what are things that are attractive to you when selecting an employer?
I would definitely say the flexibility of, I am a full-time employee, so the flexibility of having time to either go to doctor's appointments or appointments that I need to go to. If one morning I need to just cancel some client appointments, unfortunately, being able to have either some paid time off or unpaid time off to do those appointments that are needed and keep that work-life balance. Because being that I do work a lot, I'm very dedicated to my work. I think looking for paid time off, being able to accrue that each time I am able to work during my time here, I would say definitely health insurance, benefits like that, medical insurance, health insurance, different plans that are flexible and not just kind of like one fits all.
I did add as a benefit as of last year wellness time and flex time, because we knew that that was something that our therapists who are highly productive, like yourself, Alex is a highly productive therapist and a very popular therapist with our parents and kiddos. So for someone like herself, we want to give back to them. And if wellness time and flex time is something that where they can flex their schedules. If you're billing a certain amount of time per week, we say, okay, if you can reschedule Thursday's kids from 4 to 6 to Friday, go ahead and do that, because you are highly productive. And if you are a therapist who is billing consistently a certain amount of time, we do give extra PTO for our therapists. And that was something that we added because the Gen Z therapist was needing that extra time. So that's something that we developed a program for therapists who are highly productive, like yourself. And I know that's definitely something that sets us apart.
Yeah, definitely. Now, does that go into the tier program?
Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
that's something that keeps you also motivated at the company. Whereas even though I just started a few months ago, I'm able to, if I'm consistently billing and continuing, it's motivating to know that I'm able to reach that and achieve that at some point.
Yeah, because we still want to protect patient care, right? So we want to make sure that if we are going to give time, we want to make sure that we are taking care of the kids because that's our number one goal and our mission is to provide the highest quality therapy for all of our patients. So if we are going to give back to the therapist, we want to make sure that we are accommodating those children as well. Can you tell me, do you feel that we were able to adapt to you in your time of need and moving towards further south, or do you feel like we catered to you?
That's a good statement. So adapt or cater. I would say, I guess a good mix of both. I don't know. Is there a right answer?
No, no, there's not. I'm just asking you because this is something new for us, right? So we're trying to figure out like, we don't want to cater to everyone, but we want to adapt and change, right? So when you come to us with a problem, we're trying to go case by case and come up with solutions. So our solution is that we moved you because that was something that you needed in order to retain you, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to sustain that drive. So we want to be able to keep our therapists and keep them happy, but without for us paying the price and not having a therapist to provide services where they're needed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would say definitely super adaptable. You guys have been with my whole transition and not making it seem like a burden because it can be to some companies like, oh, well, we can't do that for you or we're unable to. Definitely really flexible and able to adapt to my needs, whether, I wasn't needing it immediately, but what happens with some time and patience, and I'm here now. So that's what matters. Yeah,
But
definitely.
when you were in school, what was the mindset and what did they teach you about how your life would be set up with work-life balance? Did they give you any insight of how that would be?
Well, they definitely just kind of said that if you're working in a school setting, your schedule is typically 8 to 2. You have the afternoons. If you want, you can work after and get more hours. Being in a private clinic, it's definitely, you're back to back, you're super busy, it's high productivity. But that's really the only insight they gave in sense of schedule and hours. But they didn't really mention anything like, oh, some companies are able to be flexible or they're able to do this for you. So I think it's really unique what PPT has to offer.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do you feel like as a clinician that your life integration goals are being met? Your work life
I feel like,
integration.
yes, 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 definitely. So being that I am a full-time employee, it can be a little challenge at times to balance that work life and be able to be like, oh, wait, I am Alex outside of work and I am not a speech pathologist because I'm super dedicated to my craft and work and I'm very passionate. I think that's also just kind of a self thing I have to work through and be like, okay, it's healthy to not think about work right now. You're not at work, but give it some time and thought. I think that's just something personal I am working through to kind of be Alex and then be Alex at work. But yeah, I think I'm working towards my work life integration goals, definitely.
Okay, good. And with the schedule that we have provided you and you're closer to home and all of that kind of stuff, do you feel like you're more balanced now?
Definitely more balanced due to less of a drive time. I would love to work towards more productivity with my hours to attain that 410 schedule because that is an offer. So once I'm able to build up to that, I would like to do that as well because that's a great option.
Yeah, we do have several options here now. This year we created because we know that everybody's life is different and everybody has different goals, right? Some people are high producers. They want to hustle and make as much extra that they can. But there are people who say, I want to work 30 hours or I want to work 32 hours. I want to do this. I want to do that. And we've created several different options now for our employees that want to work less but still be full-time employees and receive benefits. Obviously, as you go down, the pay would change a little bit, but we have created these because of everybody having different lifestyles and wanting different things in life. And we're trying to adapt and change to that as well. So 410s is definitely an option as well that we do provide, as long as our therapists maintain a certain productivity for a certain amount of time and can continue to maintain that productivity. And we have patient care and somebody to take the patients for the days that they're no longer working. So those are all viable options, and we can always adapt and change with what the needs of our therapists are.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last question for you is, in your experience working, what is one thing that you would tell a therapist who might be applying to come and work here? And what would be some advice that you would give them?
Whether you're going through something in your life or transitioning or moving, there's no need to worry because you guys are really flexible. And just being at PPT, if you ever need anything, don't be afraid to communicate that because you guys are there to be there for us and help us grow and thrive to be the best professional we can, whether it be working with the patient, asking another professional in another discipline like OT or PT, hey, I need help with this kiddo, let's collaborate, or whether it be going to Tara and getting some help. Hey, this isn't working for me. I feel like in my past jobs in other places, I kind of struggled with going to higher ups or going to my boss about saying, this isn't working for me, or hey, I don't agree with this. Can we work something out with this? Rather than being quiet, because then you build up some things where it's kind of just some tension then, whereas it's just better to communicate what you need and have an open conversation about it rather than to just keep quiet.
Communication is key. We have a lot of
As a
processes in place so that we are able to communicate with all of you and make sure that everybody feels heard. We have 90-day check-ins, we have quarterly check-ins, annual reviews, so that we make sure that everybody is constantly having the forum to express what their needs are and that we can evolve and change. So I hope this episode has been useful and helpful to anybody who is a Gen Z therapist and wanted to know how it is to work in a private practice and how we can evolve and change to help you. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Beyond the Caseload. Before we wrap up, a huge thank you to our sponsor, Galileo for Kids, a science-backed whole body vibration supporting strength, balance, and meaningful progress in pediatric therapy. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with a colleague or a friend who could use it. And don't forget to follow so you never miss an episode. Until next time, take care of your kids, your caseload, and yourself, because there's always more beyond the caseload.